In this video, I'm going to show you how to use the chi-square.test function to perform the computations for a test that's going to check to see if two variables are independent or if they are dependent. What you'd need after you have your null and your alternative hypothesis is you need to have a significance level, a probability of a type 1 error selected. We'll use 0.1 in this case. Then you need some type of rule for deciding when you're going to reject your null hypothesis. And then you'd have to actually check, some assumptions that you'd have a simple random sample and that your expected values are at least 5 for this. So this is something you'd check to make sure your sample size is large enough. And I'll show you how you do that at the end of this test. And what you'd do is you'd have your data collected up in a vector, and it would need to be put into a matrix of some sort. So I'll do this here where I have my data, and it's turned into a matrix that's going to be a 2 by 3 matrix. So what this looks like is this right here, and these are all supposed to be count values. And then what you do if you actually want to run the test, and I'm going to store the results for this in something called results, is you just use chi-square.test, and you just type in the name of the matrix. In this case, it's Matt, and you can load that up. And then to see your results, we'll just look at it like this, and this is what the results look like down at the bottom. Right? Tells you where your data was, gives you a chi-squared test statistic, tells you the degrees of freedom that went along with it, gives you a p-value. Now, if this was indeed a valid test, meaning our sample size was big enough so that we can believe that our significance level is going to be true there, I would look at this and say, well, I got 0.1251. That's actually larger than 0.1. And I'd say, well, I have no reason to believe that this null hypothesis is wrong, or I'd fail to reject the null hypothesis. Now, I do have to check this other assumption here to know if I want to believe that my results are valid. The way I'd do that is I'd actually look at the internal structure of my results, and you will find out that it's indeed a list with a bunch of information in there. And what we want to do is look at the expected values that are stored inside of it. So the way I'll do that is I'll just type in results, I will put the $sign, and I will type expected. And if I run this, I will get back the expected values for this, and you'll notice that those are all at least 5, so I can indeed believe that my results are valid. Okay, so that's how you can use this chi-square.test function to perform the computations for a test of independence.